On the last part, Super Saiyan God Gohan faces off against Beerus. Initially, his lack of battle sense due to his slacking on training in the past 5 years comes back to haunt him. Gohan loses most of the exchanges, even though Beerus heavily suppresses himself. Beerus, having enough of this, decides to just end the fight with a Spear of Destruction, launching it towards Gohan. As Gohan uses a full power Kamehameha to counter the Spear of Destruction, managing to just cancel it out and impressing Beerus with his display of power. Beerus thus decides to spare Earth and leaving. A few months later, when Whis comes back to Earth, Goku and Vegeta manage to convince Whis to start training them. Meanwhile, Frieza is revived as he trains for 4 months like usual and makes his way to Earth. Gohan handles all the strong fighters in Frieza's army like Shisami and the newly powered up Togoma before he comes face to face with final form Frieza. However, base form Gohan completely humiliates final form Frieza, so Frieza decides to unveil his true power right away, his golden form, Golden Frieza. Will Gohan be able to beat Golden Frieza, or will Goku and Vegeta need to come to save the day once again? Well, these are questions we'll answer today on Dragon Ball Super. Golden Frieza's power wasn't something that could be taken lightly. Gohan was actually very impressed that Frieza's power had grown so quickly in such a short period of time. However, all this did was reaffirm Gohan's belief that eliminating Frieza right here and now was an urgent task and was more exigent than ever. Gohan powers up into his ultimate form. However, Frieza simply laughs at Gohan, thinking that Gohan didn't even have the ability to turn Super Saiyan. Was that really all he got? His hair literally didn't even change. After all, Gohan's ultimate form basically looked identical to his base form. Gohan, however, doesn't reply to Frieza's taunts, instead choosing to charge forward. In the blink of an eye, Gohan has already embedded a fist into Golden Frieza's gut. Frieza has the air knocked out of him. He couldn't even process Gohan's movements. Gohan here has had the God Ritual done on him, so his ultimate form basically increased its power capacity to cover the power of a Super Saiyan God. And Gohan's base form is already ridiculously strong, considering he continued training after the 7-year time scale. So, Golden Frieza here has absolutely no chance whatsoever. However, Gohan doesn't get cocky. Firstly, his childhood trauma from seeing his friend Krillin get killed on Namek and then himself getting pummeled. Secondly, his previous experiences with Super Buu. Because he had gotten cocky, his father and Vegeta were absorbed, and he had to kill them in order to defeat Super Buu. He wasn't about to let Frieza one-up him. Gohan continues pummeling Frieza left and right, not giving Frieza a chance to retaliate. Frieza is panicking inwardly. He was gonna lose to the Saiyan monkey. Sorbet tries to help Frieza by shooting a laser beam at Gohan. However, this laser beam bounces uselessly off Gohan's skin. Piccolo notices as he flies behind Sorbet and kills him. No one else was gonna interfere in this fight. Piccolo hopes that Gohan has it in him to kill Frieza. Gohan punches Frieza upwards into the sky as he prepares a Masenko to finish Frieza off. Frieza charges up a death ball as he launches it downwards. However, Gohan's Masenko easily bypasses the death ball and goes straight through Frieza as well. Gohan puts his all into the blast and Frieza's body is completely obliterated. Gohan heaves a sigh of relief as the rest of the Frieza force retreats from Earth. With this, the Resurrection F saga comes to a close, with Gohan being the one to safeguard Earth. The next arc is the Universe 6 tournament. Champa comes to Beerus' planet and challenges Beerus to a tournament between the two universes. As usual, Universe 7 needs 5 fighters. The first 3 slots are basically already set in stone, with Goku, Vegeta, and Monaka. Goku and Vegeta try to invite Gohan like usual. However, Gohan, even though he has kept up with his training, he still had an important job meeting on that day, so he can't make it. Piccolo is the default 4th fighter though. The main issue was the 5th fighter, because Fat Buu doesn't exist in this universe any longer, having been killed alongside Super Buu. Goku decides to invite Android 18, however the lack of money incentive makes her reject his offer. In the end, Krillin decides to take the offer and steps up, even though he's still kinda lacking confidence in his own fighting abilities. So as usual, Goku and Vegeta take their training into the Hyperbolic Time Chamber for the next 3 years. After that, Whis then transport everyone from Universe 7 to the tournament arena. As usual, the first fight is Goku against Botamo. Goku defeats Botamo with ease, however after that loses to Frost. Now this is where Krillin goes up. Unfortunately, Krillin completely falters here. He was secretly still afraid of Frieza after what Frieza had done back to them on Namek. And Frost, being a Frieza lookalike, doesn't help his odds much whatsoever. Frost's power is also significantly higher than Krillin's, so Krillin is immediately obliterated by Frost. Krillin looks down in shame. After that one-sided fight, he felt kinda down. He couldn't ever pull his own weight, and it was all his own fault. He slacked off on his training, never truly confronted his fears. This loss gave Krillin greater motivation to improve himself. After this tournament, he'll start working on himself and to make sure he never suffers such a humiliating loss again. Next up, now it's Piccolo vs Frost. This fight goes quite a bit differently from canon. With Gohan continuously training on Earth, naturally he has to have a sparring partner, and this sparring partner is none other than Piccolo. Training with Gohan has greatly benefited Piccolo in terms of strength, and he was quite a bit stronger than Frost. Piccolo manages to trap Frost using his stretchy limbs, immobilizing him and throwing him out of the arena, and is declared the victor of that round. However, suddenly Piccolo stops moving and falls headfirst into the floor. Everyone is kinda confused about this development, but thanks to Jago's keen eyesight, he spots Frost's poison needles. Nonetheless, Jago spotting Frost cheating here basically changes nothing, because Frost had already lost to Piccolo. So Piccolo basically just moves on to the next round against Vegeta, while Frost is disqualified. Now, we have Vegeta, the gigantic robot that actually gave Super Saiyan Vegeta a run for his money in the original story. Will Piccolo continue his winning streak and come out on top, or will he falter here? Well, these are questions we'll answer in the next part on Dragon Ball Super.